Rotted Reviews, and today I want to talk about a movie that's going to be coming out this Monday on Arrow Films, the 2021 feature-length motion picture of The Stylist. Written and directed by Jill Gavarjazarian, this was actually originally a short back in 2016 that hit the festival circuits and found some minor distribution pockets. I remember when I first watched it, it was part of the compilation film Watch If You Dare, which overall as a compilation film was pretty lackluster, but I did make a point in saying in my review there that The Stylist was actually kind of the standout piece. It was the first segment of the film and it got a lot worse from there, but The Stylist was actually the one bit of a nugget in there that I found worthwhile. I thought it had some promise and it had some great visuals, and I was eager to see what would happen with the feature-length follow-up as soon as it got greenlit. And in this movie, we get introduced to the titular character of the Stylist, or Claire, played by Najara Townsend, as, well, a hairstylist. But she has a little bit of some secrets that go above and beyond that. You see, if she's the last one working, there's a good chance that you're going to need a little bit more than just an inch or two chopped off. You see, Claire is the kind of protagonist that doesn't often show up in films because she is the villain. We are following her around. She is the principal character that we are tracking every step of the way through. However, we're also watching her kill folks and we're learning more about her fragile psyche in the process. And that really comes to a head when she gets a styling request from a frequent customer of hers, Olivia, who is about to get married and wants her wedding hair done. And the way that we learn more about Claire is through confronting these difficult situations, trying to help Olivia out, and facing her own demons. She's somebody that's not terribly comfortable in her own skin and likes to walk in the shoes or scalps of strangers. And in doing so, she's confronting being an outside element within Olivia's inner circle as she's preparing for the wedding. Now, the real big thought that I had before watching this movie is, will this elevate above and beyond a concept? If you ask me, the big difference between short films and feature-length films is concepts. A concept on its own can work for a short film. You're only including about 10-15 minutes worth of footage, if that. So you can have a concept, you can have a boogeyman in the shadows and nothing else, and that's perfectly fine. If all you want to do is have one good jump scare, get the audience on their feet, go for it. We love it. But a feature-length motion picture, something that's an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes long, you need to have more meat than that. You need to have some level of character study. You need to have some level of conflict. You need to have the characters try to overcome that conflict. You need a story. You need a story above and beyond the concept because a concept alone just doesn't cut it, not for that amount of time. So again, the question was, does this work above and beyond the initial concept of the original short film of The Stylist? And I'm here to report that in my opinion, yes, absolutely. This actually took the concept and actually created a very rich, very full character that was sympathetic but terrifying at the same time. Her unhinged nature really actually did keep me on the edge of my seat. There were points in this film that really kept me guessing, never knowing when Claire is going to be able to keep her shit together or whether she's going to lose it and go unhinged on somebody as a result. And to be surprised by a film like this is an incredibly enjoyable thing. I love being kept on the edge of my seat, and I would say that almost all the way through the ending, I really didn't know what was going to be happening. One thing that I really did love about the short film was how beautiful it was. The soft lighting, the warm colors, and so forth, it just worked for me, and I'm pleased to report that that follows through in this. The camera work, the lighting, the colors, everything about this looks gorgeous. If I had to provide any kind of constructive criticism of this film, I would say two major things. One, we learn more as the film progresses and she encounters the conflicts who Claire is. I would like to know more about who Claire was, how she got to the point that she was at, and perhaps just a little bit more fleshed out narrative. We learn a lot through watching her experience these things and following her reactions, but that still didn't provide a lot of story narrative behind the character. Maybe someday down the road we'll actually get a follow-up to this. Additionally, and I'm going to say this as spoiler-free as I possibly can, for a movie that did keep me guessing almost all the way to the end, the very end did broadcast things out pretty loudly, and I guessed what was going to be happening well before it actually happened. So I would have liked to have been a little bit more surprised by the very ending, but regardless, I did enjoy the entirety of the film, and I do heartily recommend it. So again, this comes out on Monday. You can check it out at arrowplayer.com. They have a free trial. They have a great catalog, and it's a decent price too. I do recommend you check it out if you haven't looked into it yet. But that should about do it for this review. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I look forward to seeing you on my next review. Remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.